In the name of God, my name is Mehdi Kordnavasi, and in this chapter, I will explain about using the building blocks of ITIL, chapter 2. Let's start with defining a service. What is a service? A service is sometimes provided to a customer by a provider. It's usually something that the customer wants and, for whatever reason, cannot or will not do itself. ITIL speak, a service is a mean of delivering value to customer by facilitating outcomes that customers want to achieve without the ownership of a specific cost and risk. A means of delivering value to customer. A service is sometimes provided to customer by a provider. The customer wants to use the service for a reason. It delivers value in some way. So the provider must understand and define the value. Consider the example of a bus. Why do you take a bus? Is it just because you want a jolly bus ride? Well, perhaps, but more likely you get the bus because you want to get from A to B. What is your destination? Is it the bus stop? A service is defined by facilitating outcomes customers want to achieve. Customers use the service because they have a need that they want fulfilled. So the service provider must gain a good understanding of each customer's need. In the bus example, is it adequate for the bus company to know that all customers want to get from one bus stop to another? How do they know where to put the bus stops? How do they know how often to schedule the buses? How big should be the buses? The answer these questions, the bus company need to find out more about the intentions of the customers. Why do the customer wants to take the bus? What the customer is trying to achieve so that it can match its service to the customer's need. The another definition about the service without the ownership of a specific cost and risks. When you board the bus, before sitting down you approach the driver and ask to see her driving license, the mode certificate and insurance certificate for the bus. Why not? You no doubt assume the paperwork is all part of the service. In fact, that may be the reason you choose to take the bus instead of the alternatives, because you don't want to bother with the costs and risks involved with owning a car, or perhaps you can't face sitting in a traffic jam in your own car. The service provider must keep in mind that when people use services, they often review the alternatives, and consideration of costs and risks sways the customers. This is well and good, but what's it got to do with IT service? Well, do you work for an IT department or organization whose job is to provide IT systems and software applications? Why do your user use your IT systems? In a business or commercial situation, the customer use the IT system because they help them to do their job. Like the bus company that knows where its customer wants to go and understand their habits, do you know exactly why your users use your IT systems? Let's see the ITIL definition points of view. An IT service is a service provided by an IT service provider. An IT service is made up of a combination of information technology, people, and process. A customer-facing IT service directly supports the business processes of one or more customers, and its expected outcomes are defined in a Service Level Agreement or SLA. Other IT services called supporting services aren't directly used by the business but are required by the service provider to deliver customer-facing IT service. Technical staff. A common expression you hear is end-to-end IT service. This expression derives from the fact that the user is at one end of the service and the PC sends its message through various components until they reach a computer service or mainframe at the other end. So, end-to-end describes all of the components required for the IT service to operate as required.
IT service management is at the heart of the IT service delivery. In the top half, we see the users who obtain services from the IT department. In order to involve those users as much as possible in the provision of the service, an informative web portal is often provided. This contains information and tips on the services which IT supplies. In addition, users can submit a request, for example for new hardware, and request support in the event of an incident. In the middle of the picture are the processes which the CIO office has set up to guarantee a consistent service for the business. The services are set out in the service portfolio, and the agreements with the business concerning the services are set out in the service level agreements. The service costs are also laid down and form the basis for any on-charging. The operational processes describe how, under controlled conditions, changes are made to the system and incidents are resolved and prevented. The central maintenance of knowledge and information is essential for this. These processes are often organized on the basis of ITIL. Almost every IT department uses external suppliers because they can supply certain services more cheaply. Contracts are entered into with these external suppliers, and these naturally have to be monitored. The department also monitors the satisfaction of users and of external suppliers. Can they and do they work well? In order to execute processes efficiently and control them accordingly, a supporting ITSM tool is required, for example, to log calls from users. Frequently used ITSM tools are those of HP, BMC, and ServiceNow. Naturally, all those ITSM processes and tools change constantly as a result of advancing insights, organizational changes, new suppliers, and the introduction of new techniques. Functional and technical management of the ITSM tooling ensures that they always provide optimum support for the processes. At least as important in the case of ITSM are the professionals who work in this dynamic environment. ITSM is a discipline which can be learned, but the customer-focused attitude and pleasure in running an IT department smoothly has to be in your blood. It requires special qualities and character traits. An ITSM tool indicates the achieved performance by means of dashboards and reports. A properly set up tool contains all the management information necessary in order to continuously improve the service. The management can take place on operational and process levels, and by reference to the agreements entered into with the customer and suppliers. We have now described all ITSM components except one that is hardly ever implemented well and therefore often causes inefficiency and rising costs. Governance. The different components are often monitored, but there is hardly ever anyone monitoring the entire landscape and providing overall control and management on behalf of the CIO. That often leads to multi-vendor finger-pointing, with everyone blaming everyone else rather than working together to come up with a good solution. Governance of the entire ITSM landscape is necessary to prevent that. Contract management alone is not sufficient. The governance extends to management of internal IT demand. Because only through integrated overall management can outsourcing remain successful right from the...
Let's see IT service management or ITSM. Service management is a set of specialist organization capabilities for providing value to customers in the form of services. When considering managing your IT services, another obvious question is, how would you like me to manage your services on your behalf? Here are some popular answers to that question. To my expectations, so my staff and I can get on with our jobs effectively and efficiently, so that I don't have to agreed targets. Think of IT service management as customer service for IT people. I'm sure you've come across customer service philosophies where all customers and suppliers, the customer is always right, and so on. Put very simply, service management aims to find out what the customer wants, agree it with the customer, and then give it to the customer. IT service management or ITSM is the implementation and management of quality IT services that meet the needs of the business. IT service management is performed by IT service providers through an appropriate mix of people, process, and information management. Next section, understanding who provides the IT services. An IT service provider is a service provider that provides IT services to internal or external customers. ITIL suggests three provider types. The type 1 internal service provider, an internal IT organization or department that serves one business unit. Type 2 shared service unit, a single internal IT organization or department that serves many business units. And the type 3 external service provider, an organization that provides service to external customers, for example, a commercial business. In fact, type 1 and 2 are internal providers providing IT services to other parts of the same company, and the type 3 providers are commercial organizations that provide services in exchange for money. Let's continue our discussion about knowing the IT service management stakeholders. I use the words customers and users a lot, but who are they, and does it matter what you call them? Customers and users are some of the stakeholders that you need to consider when providing IT services. A stakeholder is someone who has an interest in or is affected by whatever you are doing. In this case, they have an interest in your IT services. Here are some explanations of some key stakeholders. The first is user. You need to define users for many reasons. Users use the services. Ring up your service desk. Have varying degree of understanding of computers and your services. Often need training. Almost always need trainings. The number of users that use a given service helps you get an understanding of the capacity requirements of a service. Often the SLA define who the users of a service are, where they are located, the support they require, and how many can use the service at any one time. The next stakeholder is customer. People use the term customer in many different ways. Even the ITIL books use it more than one way. However, when defining and managing services, one main definition exists. A customer is someone who buys goods or service. The customer of an IT service provider is the person or group who defines and agree the service level target. The customer is one who pays. If your organization is a commercial one, providing services in exchange for money, then this definition is reasonably clear and obvious. Customers come in two flavors. Internal customers. The ITIL publications say they work for the same business as the IT service provider. And external customers. According to ITIL, they work for a different business from the IT service provider and usually buy services from the IT provider. The next stakeholder is the supplier. The supplier is a third party, external to your organization, from whom you obtain goods or services that are required to help deliver IT services. Example of supplier include commodity, hardware and software vendors, network and telecom providers, and outsourcing organizations. Okay, let's talk about the creating value. In the earlier section, defining service, I give the ITIL definition of a service as a means of delivering value to customer. But how do you define the value? You need to tie your customers down and get a clearer view of how they perceive value. Here is the formula. Value equal utility plus warranty. The following section explore utility and warranty. In the ITL publication, it says utility is the functionality offered by a product or service to meet a particular need. Utility is often summarized as what it does. For example, what does a kitchen cooker do? Allow you to cook meals? What does a bus do? Gets you to your destination. What does an email service do? Allow you to send and receive emails. All these are examples of basic functionality or utility of a product or service. Of course, the list is endless, but please note that none of these examples mentioned IT. Once you get an understanding of what the customer wants to do, then you can start to think about how you can provide an IT service to help the customer do it. Let's see the meaning of warranty. Warranty, the assurance that a product or service will meet agreed requirements. Warranty is often summarized as how it does it. For example, when you go to the electrical store to buy a new washing machine, the salesperson is likely to ask you whether you'd like to take out the extended 5 years warranty. What does this mean? The store is giving you some assurance that if the washing machine breaks down, you'll be able to get it fixed as soon as possible. The warranty allows you to get the utility more often. In other words, if the utility of a washing machine is to wash your clothes, the warranty allows you to wash your clothes more often. Warranty has 4 main aspects. The first, availability. Is the service available? Is it there and working when you want it? If it fails, can it fix quickly so you can get on with what you're supposed to be doing? The next is capacity. Is there enough for service and does it work fast enough? The next is continuity. If the service breaks in a reality bad way, can the customer get the service back in some way, or can you provide an alternative? And the last is security. Is the service secure and does it protect your information and your interests? For example, think about the current account you have with your bank. The service or utility it provides is the means to store money and give you access to it whenever you want. What about the warranty? Availability refers to your money being available when you want it through the different access methods, such as cash machines or online banking. Capacity refers to the amount that you can deposit or withdraw at any time and how quickly the bank adds the money to your account or gives you the money. And security refers to the bank ensuring that how only you can get to your money and that it keeps your details confidential. And continuity refers to the bank providing you with an alternative if the normal access method to your money is blocked in some way. For example, if all cash machine fails, the bank allow you to withdraw money over the counter at a branch. Okay, thank you for watching this movie. In the next movie, we will talk about the assets in an IT organization. Thank you.